So Otani has signed a 10-year, $700 million deal with the Dodgers. And of course, that means a 10-year rebuild with the Dodgers. And this deal is crazy. 70 mil a season is absolutely ludicrous. Apparently, there's some deferrals to kind of make the payment a little bit better for the Dodgers. But I totally get why the Dodgers paid this kind of money, because they're easily going to make that money back within the next couple seasons. And that might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but they're easily going to make the money back. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section about the Ohtani signing. But today, the 10-year rebuild, and of course, we got to do it with the points. So what we're doing is 10-year rebuilds. We're going to keep a point tally to see how the team fares. And in yesterday's Yankees rebuild with Juan Soto, we kind of started it. So essentially how the points work is every season, we're going to see how they perform. Essentially, you get 1 point for making the playoffs, 2 points for winning the division, 3 points for having the best record in all of baseball. If you make the World Series, you get 4 points. And if you win the World Series, you get 5 points. At the end of the 10 seasons, we total up the points, and then we'll keep a little bit of a standings, a leaderboard to see which team comes out on top over the next decade. Yesterday's Yankees got off to a little bit of a slow start, but you definitely should check it out. So today, let's see what we can do with the Dodgers. Okay, so we're going to start in free agency, and really quickly, I know Clayton Kershaw hasn't re-signed. I'll probably bring him back, and then I'll probably end up signing some players that they've released in real life. But you know what? I'm taking over. This is my team now. One thing I do want to point out is Shohei Ohtani will be the DH only for the first season. For every season after that, we'll start letting him pitch. But because he's not pitching in the first season in real life, I figured let's do that. Bullpen wise, rotation, it looks good. Rotation, they're getting a lot of players back. Walker Buehler's supposed to come back. And obviously, if they can stay healthy, the rotation looks good. Bullpen will add to it a little bit. And then, of course, offensively, not Dustin May there. It's going to be Ohtani. But I feel like with Mookie Betts at second, you're going to have Gavin Lux at short. We'll be fine. We definitely could add a little bit to the outfield. I feel like the outfield could use some help. So let's see what we can find in the offseason. Let's see what we can do here. And yeah, let's go get that first season started. Alrighty, so here we go. Ranked third, which, okay, fair enough. And taking a look at the team, let me quickly show you our draft picks. This is the wrong menu. There was a couple that were like decent. So we have Guadalupe Montano, 8 potential, just 58 overall. So he's gonna be someone we look towards the end of the rebuild. We've got Lewis Hanna, another pitcher. A lot of these guys only have 3 pitches, so they might end up being maybe more relievers. I don't know about this guy. This guy might be a trade piece. I just don't like his per nines at all. Estevan Sanchez, holy cow. Estevan Sanchez looks okay. 59 overall once again. Nick Chappell looks okay, but like you kind of see they're very similar in like per nines with Lewis Hanna and Chappell. So again, might be one that we look to trade for someone with a little bit better per nines. And then we had one more, Glenn McQueen. Looks pretty decent. And then I had one more. I definitely did. This was the main guy, our first pick, Christopher Moya, third baseman, also plays right field, but I think he's a first baseman. Bad arm, not the best of fielding. So I'm going to probably change him to a first baseman just so you guys can, I'll do it right now just so I don't forget. And you guys can keep track of that. So we're going to move him to first base. And then the only other thing I got to show you was there was one generational talent. He went to the Angels and he looks insane. Rich Trainer. Outside of that, this actually was a really juiced draft class. A lot of decent players, a lot of high potential players, a lot of like high 60 overall players. Also some good like pitchers. And I really went heavy on the pitchers just in case like some of these guys end up leaving in free agency. But also that way we have depth so that I can start flipping some of the guys that may not work out. Just in case Ryan Pepiot doesn't work out, Gavin Stone doesn't work out, Landon Knack. That way I have some guys kind of in reserve so I can maybe flip these guys for a position player or maybe like an actual ready starter that we could use. So here we are looking at the budget. I totally understand why Ohtani was given such a big deal because the Dodgers actually have some money for the future. There's a lot of flexibility in their payroll. Players are starting to come off the books, and it'll be interesting to see how they do spend their money going forward, especially with some players starting to become free agents too, especially Walker Buehler is a name that should be becoming a free agent soon. And speaking of which, I gave him a 6-year, $20 million deal, or $20 million a season deal, which I actually think is super cheap. Obviously injury concerns, but we do have a team option for that last season in 2030. but I think this is a pretty good pickup for us. A guy that could definitely slot into this rotation for sure. So I think looking at the team, where's Ohtani? He needs to come over here because he's not going to be pitching this year. So instead, we're going to look something probably like this. Ooh, Dustin May I don't think would be pitching in real life this year either, but we'll make an exception for this. So this is our bullpen. I accidentally let go of a couple guys that I didn't want to. I know Alex Vesia may not be the best pitcher in real life, but he's pretty decent in the game, and I kind of wanted him as a main lefty. I accidentally let him go, and then I re-signed him, and then he got taken in the Rule 5 draft. So I couldn't catch a break this offseason for the relievers. We do have a couple that we can keep our eye on, but we also do have some 40s down there too. So we'll see how things go. Lineup wise, John Birdie will not be playing second base. That'll be Mookie Betts. Right field is probably going to be Jason Hayward, I guess. And then I'll readjust this because the CPU completely changed my lineups. Is everything set to manual? Everything should be set to manual because those were, yeah, everything's set to manual. That was not the way I had the lineup set at all. I had it something kind of like this, and then maybe kind of break up the lefties there. So bench is full of righties. Obviously, when we face lefties, we make the adjustments there. So Birdie's come in as just kind of a backup infielder. We've got Bader as a backup outfielder. Chris Taylor, I really want him off the books. I might trade him right now. We'll see. Yasmani Grandal back with the Dodgers, and then Miguel Vargas gets into the team. So this is kind of the squad. I like it, and then I feel like we could use a little bit more youth. I feel like we could get a little bit younger as the seasons go. Obviously, Michael Busch is still with the team. I signed Bobby Bradley. We'll see how he pans out. Christopher Moya's in AAA already. We're going to try to fast track him. Tim Anderson, Miguel Rojas, Connor Joe, Travis Jankowski, Andy Pajes. We've got some other players in the farm system that we could call up if need be. Team's looking good. Let's get through season one. I'm not going to show the draft every single time, but Juan Soto just got drafted. So there's that. He was actually kind of on my radar as a pick, maybe if he fell to me in the first round, just for the memes, but Juan Soto got chosen third by the Tigers. Really quickly, this is our draft for technically season one. I mean, it's pretty good. I'm kind of trying to find really safe picks that I think are going to be really good, and trying to get a couple position players in rather than just focusing all on pitching. So Lee Key, I hope he's not leaky in the outfield, but he looks legit. He actually looks pretty good. Like I've been saying, there's been some really good picks in this draft. We just have a late pick. I think we're like the last one of the first round, so we've got to be kind of smart with the picks that we do. But like I'm saying, this was actually the guy that I was gonna choose instead of Lee Key, and I'm actually glad that I went with Lee because those contact numbers are going to be real bad for offensive production. But just looking at it, you can see there's another generational talent in Terrence Cox, but a lot of high potential players, also a lot of high overall players. Second generational talent of this draft. So yeah, like I've been saying, there's a lot of good talent in these drafts lately. So could be some good prospects to look forward to in this rebuild. Juan Soto was a generational talent. So the season's over. Let's go take a look and see how we did. 111-51. I'm assuming that's the best record in baseball. So we won the division. We made the postseason. So 1 point for the postseason, 2 points for the division. And in all of baseball, the Rangers were close, 106 wins, but the best record. So 3 points there, a total of 6 points. And we haven't even made the World Series yet. So off to a crazy good start. League leaders. Gonsolin had the best whip and ERA, and then Shohei Ohtani was absolutely insane offensively. I think this team's going to be a little bit of a cheat code, and it's just going to run away with the point total. Hank Aaron Award, Shohei Ohtani. MVP, Shohei Ohtani. And batting title, Shohei Ohtani. He beat out Matt Olson and Ronald Acuna Jr. Seager won it on the other side. DeGrom was the Cy Young winner along with Spencer Strider, and we had 2 players there. I mean, a 3.8 ERA. Come on. I feel like Dustin May got gypped on that one. So we got Ohtani with the batting title along with Seager. Jimmy Herget was the reliever of the year along with AJ Minter, who is on the Marlins now. Okay. And then Forrest Whitley was rookie of the year. Really? Okay. Dre Jameson and Yamamoto with the Cubs. Let me tell you, I would be ecstatic if the Cubs got Yamamoto. I would go crazy. And then Harry Ford was it on the other side. So let's make sure really quickly. It looks like we've got an extra pitcher called up. So let me adjust that. All right, obviously Ohtani didn't pitch this year, but we know he was offensively kind of crazy. For the players that were in the majors, Robert Stevenson, I signed him to a deal hoping he would do well. Just the hits per nine were his main issue. Everything else was good, and he didn't do well. So there's that. And the other one that pitched in the majors this year was Ryan Pepio. Just struggled a little bit. Not terrible. Actually, hold on. Who did they call up? Oh, whoa. Okay. So I'm actually supposed to have Pepio up. Oh, okay. And then let me send down one of these bats now in probably John Birdie. Yeah, man, our offense was a little quiet. It was a little quiet. I think Connor Joe's going to get sent down, and we'll talk about the team now. So he started there. Yeah, okay. Now we're right. We're good now. All right. So player stats, we're going pitchers. Ken Giles didn't pitch. He just hopped into the bullpen. Victor Gonzalez, 27 innings as a lefty, 2 ERA. I'm happy with that. Got one more year of arbitration. It should be 2 more years. No, maybe. I don't know. Blake Trinan is regressing a little bit, but you know what? As our setup guy this season was fantastic. Let me see how much he's regressing. I might be able to sneak another season out. We'll see. Evan Phillips is regressing also, which is disappointing. He might be one of those we just hold on to until he becomes a free agent, and then maybe you do like 1 year deals to see how that works out. But sub 3 ERA, I'm happy. Caleb Ferguson, solid lefty for us. We got Bruzdar holding it down with a 2.3 ERA. Ryan Pepio was our long reliever, like I mentioned, 90 innings almost. Decent season. I'm happy with that. As long as he continues to progress, I will be happy. We'll get him into the rotation at some point. Kershaw struggled. I think it's one of those where I'm going to release him and he's going to go to another team and win a Cy Young. But I think this is the point where we let him walk. We go to some other of the younger guys. Bobby Miller was fantastic. Love that. 213 innings. We got Dustin May, who was lights out. 2.7 ERA, 20 wins. Gonsolin, 2.18 ERA. Holy cow. Same record as well. Walker Buehler, sub 3 ERA. And then, of course, Ohtani. If we look at our position players, Travis Jankowski didn't get any ABs, sadly. But Tim Anderson had a few, 22, wasn't great. Connor Joe had 63, was okay. He wasn't terrible. We also had Jock Peterson get some ABs. He wasn't great. I was hoping the reunion would have worked out. It just did not. And then I don't think Joe Adele did. So that's the squad. But if we take a look at the guys who did get some ABs, Miguel Vargas definitely struggled. I want to get him into the team somehow. Maybe first, maybe third, maybe left field. But somewhere. We'll figure it out. I need him to develop a little bit more. That's kind of the big thing there. Next up, we got Yasmani, who was our backup catcher. Honestly, not bad. Brought him back for a season. Was decent. John Birdie, backup second baseman, infielder, utility guy. Didn't really do much. Chris Taylor, almost an 800 OPS, which isn't bad, but like 15 mil. I gotta find a way to get rid of him this offseason. Harrison Bader didn't work out. I was hoping he could be someone that could provide some power versus lefties. Wasn't it? Jason Hayward, though, kind of nice. I'm going to see if I can bring him back for another season. Why not? James Outman's potential went up to A, which is awesome. And he had a killer season. Love it. Muncy, 356 on base percentage with 30 home runs. I'm okay with that. 17 home runs for Will Smith in an okay season. Not bad. Gavin Lux was fantastic. A 900 OPS, 13 triples. Yeah. Mookie Betts was great. Freddie Freeman is starting to regress. How many years left? 3 more? Okay, I think we can work with that. And then Ohtani, 58 home runs, 58 doubles, 164 RBIs, 100 walks. Unbelievable season. Yeah, MVP for sure. Okay, postseason time. Let's see how we do against the Braves. And apparently I didn't set my lineup. I think that's a lie. What? Oh, this lineup? Oh, this is the DH. Okay, hold on. Outfield, let's go with... we'll give Vargas a shot. All right, let's see how we do against the Braves. Okay, that's a good start. There we go. And we win. Perfect. So Gonsolin will not be pitching this game, but we'll go Bobby Miller, Kershaw, maybe even move... Actually, yeah, we'll go like that. Playoff Kershaw apparently showed up for that game. 2 straight wins against the Phillies, 3 straight. Kershaw wins this time. the pressure was off them. We were already up 3-0. We're against the Rays in season 1's World Series, which I think we're going to hopefully win. Hopefully win. Let's see if we do, though. We lose the first. I might have jinxed us. We did win the second. We won the third, the fourth, and Kershaw lost. Really. But it doesn't matter. We win in the end. So we make the World Series. We win the World Series. This is a big season to start it off for season 1. Freddie Freeman was the World Series MVP. Playoff MVP was Max Muncy. As you can see, everybody kind of popped off right here. And a total of 15 points for the first season, which is amazing. That is a great start right off the rip. For a majority of the lineup, it looks like everybody was pretty good. And of course, if we look at the pitching staff, playoff Kershaw showed up for sure, but Buehler was nasty, Miller was nasty, Dustin May was nasty, Pepio was great, and the bullpen kind of struggled. Might have to up that. So off-season time, and again, 15 points to start season 1, that's huge. All right, we're about to start the second season, kind of. You can see I'm in February. Juan Soto's still available. 5 years, 107 mil. What does he want for 5 years? 150 mil? Honestly, I would max out the deal if he wanted to, and that would lock up left field. I do need outfielders. So, like, I'm not saying I'm going to do it, and I feel like it would be kind of dumb considering we just did a Juan Soto rebuild. But let me tell you, if I didn't do that Juan Soto rebuild, this guy would be in the lineup yesterday. So, just so you know, this team could have been even juicier than what it actually was. But I'm gonna hold off. I feel like we can use or we can sign some other big name free agents in the next couple seasons because we actually got a lot of money to play with. So I wanted to point this out though. So just know I passed up on Juan Soto. Alrighty, season 2. Let's talk about this team. I did make a transaction. Let me show you. I traded Jim Cologne, or I traded for Jim Cologne from the Cubs for Chris Taylor. And Jim Cologne currently looks like, where is he? Here he is. He's 22, he's C potential, 71 overall. It was just a way to get Chris Taylor's money off the books and get an okay looking reliever for the future. If he can give us like 2-3 seasons, it's definitely worth it. Even if he can give us like just 1 season, I think that's going to be worth it in the long run. I am looking to trade Michael Busch. I just don't think he's going to be able to get into the team. He's 27, and I just feel like we could use maybe some outfield depth. You can kind of see where we are. Not a lot of potential in the farm system. We've got Andy Pages, we got Lee Key, but that's really about it. So I'm going to see if I can find a prospect really quickly, and someone like this, someone that's going to be like a long-term project that by season 8, season 9 could potentially be useful to us. So something like this, maybe low 50s, high 40s. I know it sounds crazy to be like, yeah, give me a high 40 overall player, but if I can find one, I'll take it. So let's see if there's one that like looks like he could actually be useful by season 8, season 9, or even just like a piece we could end up trading in the future. So I'm trying to see what we can find. So let me see. All right, I'm gonna take Jason Parra. His hitting stats don't look terrible. Good fielding, good speed. 19 years old. I think he could be someone that ends up playing for us. So Michael Busch for Jason Parra. There we go. I think that's really about it. I don't want to change up the team too much. I did offer an extension to one of our players in Will Smith, 5 years, just shy of 20 million each season. I may regret this one because our catcher depth is pretty decent with Cartaya and Dalton Rushing, who I do feel like they deserve a chance at some point, maybe as a backup or something. I need those hitting stats to go up just a little bit more. Other than that, I think the team's set for the regular season. Let's see what we're ranked first. Understandable. Pitching currently looks like this. No changes. Ohtani comes in, so there's that. Pepio's going to hold down that long relief spot still. I brought in Sir Anthony Dominguez on a 2-year club option. Pitched poorly last year, but we'll see if we take him out of that setup role. He'll do a little bit better. I brought back Blake Trinan, but we do have some other names down here that we could turn to if need be. So we're fine on the depth part. Lineup wise, I signed a couple too many outfielders. It was more of a, hey, one of these guys will do well type situation. So we've got Hayward, Margot versus lefties, Grossman versus lefties, and then Peterson, and then Hayward for the righties. Hampson's going to be our backup infielder, and this is the team that we're going to rock with. Again, like I said, too many outfielders. I know. We've got some guys down here that we could turn to if need be. Nick Gordon, Andy Pages, if one of those outfielders doesn't pan out. And there's a couple guys. So we'll see. Our First baseman, where is he? Christopher Moya, up to a 66 overall. So hopefully this year we get some maybe some power into his game. That'd be nice. Here's our second draft. Again, I went for a lot of safer picks. There were some really good high potential players like Cy Morris. Again, I did have the last pick of the draft though, so it's kind of tough to really gauge who's going to be available when your next pick comes up and things like that. So I went with Michael Teague. Honestly, looks good. Yeah, only has 80 potential though, but a guy who switch hitter, can play a couple different positions based on the scouting report that I had. We'll see if it actually lives up to that. Michael Farmer, shortstop. Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't have beat potential. I was kind of hoping he would have. 82 potential for Scott Lyon. 71 overall for DeAndre Ward is a little interesting. Murray Brady with C potential, and then Carlos Ortiz with C potential. So again, I think these guys will be more of like just fill out the roster type players, and that's okay with the draft. All right, season 2, we finished 127 and 35. I'm not even gonna check. I already know I have the best record in baseball. Like, I'll show you. Because you guys are gonna be like, well, there could be a team. No other team came close. We won 100. Okay, the Braves got 106, which is impressive. We won 127. So right off the rip, we made the playoffs. We won the division, best record in baseball. We're already up to 6 points, which is a crazy season. And if we take a look at the league leaders, pitching was absolutely insane. Offense, couple names there. And let's take a look at awards as I spit all over my keyboard. Delivery man of the year, Cy Young, MVP. Yeah, look at the MVP. We got Ohtani, Buehler, and Mookie Betts. On the other side, it was Juan Soto and Julio Rodriguez on the same team. That's a good outfield for the Mariners. Skubal won the Cy Young for the AL. Ohtani, and then we had Buehler and Bobby Miller. Man, our team is disgusting. The batting title went to Bregman and Soto. Bednar and Evan Phillips were the relievers of the year, and then Caleb Killian was the rookie of the year. Davis Wenzel. I actually signed him in free agency, and the Rockies took him in the Rule 5 draft from me. On the other side, it was Jackson Holliday for the Orioles, who won Rookie of the Year. And Juan Soto also was in the race for the Rookie of the Year. He's up to an 84 overall. He looks insane. Taking a look at our team, pitcher-wise, I don't think really anybody came up and pitched this year. We literally stayed with like the same rotation and bullpen for a majority of the season. Victor Gonzalez came up again. It seems like 20 to 30 innings is his limit, and he wasn't bad. I think we've seen the peak though. Might be in the market for a new lefty. Sir Anthony Dominguez, I'm definitely picking up his option. He was nasty. Next up, Caleb Ferguson once again was pretty solid. I gave him a pretty decent contract, 3 seasons, because lefties are pretty tough to come by anyways. He's going to be fairly reliable for us. I'm happy with that move. Blake Trinan, we gave him 1 more year, and as a setup guy, he held it down. Evan Phillips was reliever of the year for a reason. He was unbelievable. We've got Ryan Pepio in the 6th man role, only pitched 66 innings. I think that says more about our starters than like him. It was just, he wasn't needed. And when he was needed, he was good. Gratterall was fantastic. And then we take a look at our starters, who seem to have all pitched 200 innings. We've got Gonsolin. We've got Bobby Miller. We've got Dustin May, Shohei, and we're still missing one in Walker Buehler. Did our entire starting rotation have a sub-3 ERA? No, May and Bobby Miller had. Oh, and Gonsolin had a 3.4. Okay, still. That's nasty. We definitely were first as a team for ERA. There's no chance we weren't. Yeah, 2.91. The next closest was a 3.6. That's unbelievable. We were gross. In terms of players getting called up or sent down, I don't think there really were any, because again, the team was just so good that we didn't really go to anybody. Like Hayward only had 11 at bats, but when he was at the plate, he was deadly. 2 home runs and 3 hits. I just kept him around. Morale, he's a good clubhouse guy. Robbie Grossman kind of sucked. Same with Jack Peterson. I don't know why I brought him back. Carson Kelly is a backup catcher. I'm perfectly fine with those numbers. Margot versus lefties, 739 OPS. Like, it's not terrible, but I was kind of hoping for a little bit better. I think an outfielder is definitely going to be on my shopping list this offseason. Garrett Hampson wasn't bad as a backup outfielder, backup infielder, got quite a few at bats with 304. Jankowski had a good on base percentage, so I don't hate that he was kind of like our main right fielder this year. James Outman is regressing. Oh, he was good though. We've got a couple more years of arbitration. We'll see how that plays out before we decide on a contract extension or anything. Vargas, no, he had a good season. Why did his potential go down? He had a good year. Why? All right, that's fine. I mean, still B potential. It's going to be the high B potential too because it went from A to B. We'll see how he progresses. Will Smith, not too bad. Got that contract extension, hit almost the 800 OPS. Max Muncy is now a free agent. So again, we could possibly move Vargas into third base. And then again, outfield is a possibility that we need to shop for. Gavin Lux was unbelievable this season. And same thing with Mookie Betts, who was in the MVP race. Freddie Freeman also was very good. And then we rounded out with Shohei, who again eclipsed 50 home runs. Overall, team was unbelievable as expected, right? And then for this, I think we go Jankowski. Yeah. And then this is the DH, so it doesn't matter. Versus lefties, I think we're set. Yeah, we're good. Postseason time, everyone's in the order that it needs to be. Let's see how we do against the Marlins, and we are through. Next up, Gonsolin will not be pitching. Sorry, but we should be good to go now against the Diamondbacks. Could we have a repeat? Or are we gonna prevail this time? Okay, we're lighting them up. 24 runs in 2 games is insane. It's 3-2 though. All right, we win with 11 runs for Shohei. That is crazy. We're taking on the Astros in the World Series. Let's quickly see if they've made any changes. And they have brought in Rowdy Tellez and Moncada. Okay. And pitching-wise, Lucas Sims, Gallegos, Penn Murphy. So a couple different names. Buehler is starting. Is he our... Yeah, that's fine. We'll go Buehler, Ohtani, Miller, May, Gonsolin, and that should probably win us a World Series unless we choke, which is definitely a possibility, and it wasn't. So back-to-back World Series, we scored what? How many runs did we score? 8, 3, 5, 14, 10, 11, 8, 8, 12. That's a stupid amount of runs, man. That's a stupid amount of runs. Travis Jankowski was World Series MVP, playoff MVP. Went to Will Smith. I think if you get 1 RBI, you probably should go to somebody else for the MVP. Don't just base it off of average, because like Will Smith had 23 playoff RBIs. Like I feel like that should be talked about. You know what I mean? 24 it says right there. That's crazy. That's insane. It's just Jankowski got on base at an elite level. That's really about it. Pitching wise, go to a pitcher. Look at some of the pitching stats that we had. Like, I feel like pitchers don't get appreciated enough in MLB The Show for World Series MVP. But I guess they really only pitched like once or twice in the series, so I guess that wouldn't matter. Either way, another 15 points on the board for the Dodgers. So we're up to 30. All right, season 3, we're going to start it off by acquiring Joseph Ortiz of the Orioles. Essentially, he's going to be just like our backup infielder for the foreseeable future. Like, that's kind of where I'm at with him. No service time, so we'll basically have him for the majority of the rebuild. I just need him to just hold it down as a backup infielder, and I accidentally backed out of the trade. So we'll go back to the trade. It was, who was it? It was it Yoni Hernandez and 2 other players, and I think it was like, who was it? It was a D potential or C potential or D potential player, and now I can't remember who it was. It was somewhere in here. Maybe it was like him. And I guess we could maybe throw in Bobby Bradley, because like 29, 67 overall, I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. Get a little bit more money off the books too. So, all right, now I need to send someone on to AAA or send someone down to AAA. And this will be the team moving forward. So Cartaya is going to get a shot as a backup catcher. I signed Senzel, 2-year deal, club option. I backloaded it just in case we don't pick him up next year. But versus lefties, this guy should mash. Can play literally like every position. This is perfect. Margot is also going to help us out in the outfield. Hampson and Joseph Ortiz. I actually really like the way our bench is structured right now. And then I guess we could use like a backup first baseman. But looking at the rest of the team, I signed Lane Thomas, also a 2-year deal, club option. He hit 31 home runs last year, so if he can come anywhere close to that, I'd be really happy with it. James Outman and Andy Pajes are going to play the outfield for us. And then versus lefties, Pajes comes out and Senzel comes in. So this will be the team here. We'll probably actually go like that. But you can kind of see, oh, wait, no. Third base is meant to be Vargas, and second base is meant to be Mookie Betts. And then right field is, I guess we could go Margot here. to face the righties, since our entire outfield completely changes since Mookie Betts is playing second base for the Dodgers now. So we'll see how that goes. I kind of want to put Outman there, but if he's not going to hit lefties well, I feel like there's no point. So we'll rock like this versus lefties. Maybe change some things up a little bit. Maybe something like that for lefties. We'll go like that. But the team looks good. I actually really like it. We're ranked first. Contact to power went down a little bit. The big thing with this team is like, we just got to let the youth come in once the older guys leave. That's really about it. Like Gavin Stone's hit waivers because I haven't been able to get him into the team. So like we still got Maddox Bruns, Landon Knack. We got the guys that we've been drafting. And then even the prospects, the 2 catchers, we've got Moya, we've got LTA, who I signed in free agency. I don't know if he's going to even do anything. We drafted Teague. We just got Ortiz, who for the outfield, we've got Para, we've got Key, we got Pajes, who just came up. So I think we'll spend wisely, but a majority of this is probably just going to keep the team the same and just keep simming and see how many points we get. Moving forward through the drafts, I'm just going to have the CPU handle it. Right now, I don't know if there's a bug or what, but for some reason, every time I load into the draft, I can't start the draft. So I literally have to close app and restart. And I don't know what's causing the bug. So sometimes I'm getting stuck where I have to restart the app a couple times to actually draft. And I'm wasting like 5-10 minutes doing this stuff. So rather than waste, close to an hour going every year through the draft, I'm just gonna let the CPU handle it. I feel like we've gone through a couple already. We've got a good base. And I feel like the CPU hasn't let me down too much recently. So we're just gonna rock like that. So let's see how this 3rd season goes. All right, so this is the CPU's draft. Yeah, they let me down this time. Not even like a usable player. Maybe Mason Hill. We'll have to wait and see. It sucks that I'm getting like frozen out of the draft. I'm gonna relay it to SDS, see if they can fix it. But I wish I knew what caused it. It's just I enter the draft, I start the draft, and then the only thing I can do is add players to my draft queue. I can't start the draft. I can't skip to my next pick. I can't do anything. So it's just stuck on the add to draft queue screen. So we'll see if it gets fixed quickly, because that's kind of annoying because we were actually drafting really well and now we're stuck with this. All right, 108 and 54, and again, not bad. Last week was pretty bad though. Like it kind of looks like we just kind of coasted for the last week of the season. Really quickly, do we have the best record in baseball? We do. All right, so again, 6 points right off the rip. Crazy good start. No awards. Whoa, okay. Dustin May had the most shutouts and the best whip. And then if we take a look at awards, Acuna won MVP, Woodruff with the Cardinals. Okay. And then on the other side, Soto. Yeah, McClanahan and Woodruff are Cy Young winners. Henry Davis and JP Crawford batting title winners. And then Paul Sewald and Camilo Doval are the relievers of the year. Sal Stewart won Rookie of the Year with the Reds. And Gerald Sutherland won it with the Angels. Okay, so let's take a look at the team. All right, really quickly, Robert Stevenson was bad. I'm not going to bring him back. I was kind of hoping he would have like turned things around. Nah. Matt Strahm, I also brought him in on a 1-year deal. He was pretty bad too. So I'm going to need a lefty. I'm going to need a lefty really bad. There were a couple others that got some time. Yency Almonte pitched 11 innings, got roughed up a little bit. And I think Gavin Stone came up for a little bit in September, got roughed up a little bit too. So let's take a look at how we did as a whole. Emmett Sheehan didn't pitch, but he's going to take over for some of the guys that did struggle. I want to get him involved a little bit, only see potential, so he may not develop too much more. But I think he could be a decent little middle relief piece. Victor Gonzalez is going to be our new lefty, or our lefty to take over for Strahm, because Strahm was so bad. So there's that. We got Bruzdar, who is fantastic. We've got Caleb Ferguson, who's still doing very well. We have Evan Phillips, who is regressing now after I just gave him a 3-year extension. So there's that. Hopefully he can at least give me, 2 seasons of good baseball. That's all I need. And then at 2029, I'll cut you loose. Sir Anthony Dominguez struggled, which is unfortunate. So heading into what? Oh no, I picked up his option this year, so he's a free agent after this year. So it's okay. It's all right. We got 2 seasons out of him. Pepio struggled a little bit, but really not that bad. It's a decent season. Ohtani pitched 213 innings. It was very good, very good. And then we got Gonsolin, who was also fantastic with a sub-3 ERA. Dustin May, also a sub-3 ERA. I've extended his contract for basically, I think that's 7 years. 7 years with the option on the last year. So he'll be 35 at that last season. So we'll see how he does there. But keeping him in the rotation, I felt like it was pretty necessary. Bueller also was good. So I mean, the whole team. I mean, look at all those starters, man. The pitching is, we might be a little too stacked with the rotation. We might need to start moving some of those older guys, like someone that we're not using in like Landon Knack. He's 28. He looks decent. It's just we're gonna run out of club options for him. Who was the other one? Gavin Stone, 27. He looks decent. He's up to an 81 overall. It's just our rotation is set. Maybe Gonsolin leaves. Like, that's really the only thing, and we've got one more year of Gonsolin. So like, I can try to keep, Gavin Stone around, but I feel bad just having him stay on waivers, especially when we got Ryan Pepio doing a very similar, overall and production. So like, it's tough to get these other guys involved. So we'll see what happens. Offensively, we got Joseph Ortiz, who only had 60 at-bats, but was decent. That's what I'm looking for. Just when you get the at-bat, take advantage of it. Cartaya wasn't fantastic, so I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my catchers, because we've got Will Smith for the next few seasons. We've got Cartaya. We've got Rushing. We got to figure out what to do with one of them. One of them needs to get traded maybe for a younger catcher for the future, or just another prospect. Senzel was not as useful as I would have hoped, so I'm probably going to decline the option. Margot was about the same, a little bit better. We've got Vargas, who was better average, better on base percentage. Slugging went down a bit. That's kind of the only downside. He also did have half the at-bats though, so as long as he continues to improve, I'm going to keep giving him that third base spot. Garrett Hampson, that's perfectly fine with me. James Outman is still putting up some good numbers, progressed a little bit, so that's good to see. Andy Pa has struggled in his rookie season, which understandable. I only have him face some righties, so we'll see how he progresses. Max Muncy, yeah, he mashed, huh? He mashed a lot. I think I'm going to let him go officially after this season, unless I can get him for under 10 mil. If I can get him under 10 mil, I'll probably keep him around. Will Smith was also pretty good. Went up, 9 home runs from last year? Pretty good. Lane Thomas wasn't as good as I would have hoped. Again, probably going to decline the option. Maybe go big for an outfielder this year. That's really what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for one really big outfielder. Juan Soto would have been the guy, but again, I didn't want to have Juan Soto in back-to-back rebuilds. Mookie Betts is still putting up a 400 on base percentage. Gavin Lux, 350 on base percentage. So even though the average and the power numbers went down a little bit, I'm okay with that. Yeah, why did the OPS go down so much? Oh, he walked way less. It wasn't the power numbers went down. It was his walks. Okay. And then Freddie Freeman's still doing well. He is regressing very quickly. So we've got one more season with him, luckily. So there's that. And then Shohei, 40 home runs, 43 doubles. Love it. All right, so the team's looking good. Can we make it 3 in a row? Can we get the 3-peat right off the rip? We might lose. We might lose. Are we going to officially lose our first playoff series? We are not. All right. Coming against the Braves, though. And let's just move everybody up. Ohtani will go there. And let's see how we do against the Braves. So we lose, we win. Okay. We lose again. Oh boy, we might be in trouble here. We might be in trouble. Just kidding. We're not. We're facing the Astros once again in the World Series. We'll see if they changed up their lineup at all. Nicky Lopez is there. Kyle Tucker was a free agent, was a name that I considered. I just wasn't sure if he would be a guy that I really want to lock up long term. He's good for sure. I'm going to get high 20s home runs, good average, good on base percentage and all that stuff. I kind of want someone big. So we'll see. Is Jordan a free agent? No, they've got him for the next couple seasons. All right, we'll figure something out. Not too much has changed with their team. The pitching is going to be good. This is going to be a tough matchup. And they have Edwin Diaz. Okay. So Bueller's on the mound. Ohtani. Instead of May, we'll go Bobby Miller. Oh man, our starters have been kind of garbage. Whoa. Okay. Let's see how they do. So first 2 games, no problem. First 3 games, no. Okay, we swept them. And we scored 6 or more runs in every game. Okay. That's insane. Muncy was MVP. Playoff MVP was Ohtani, who hit 25 postseason RBIs. Good Lord. So the offense came to play, huh? Yeah. So many RBIs. 1, 2, 3. 3 players of the starting 9 had less than 10 RBIs in the postseason. That's insane. Margot had 5 off the bench. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. That's insane. That's kind of gross how many RBIs that was. So again, a crazy season and another 15 points. Let's start season 4. I'm gonna start clearing out some of the guys that like we just don't have room for. So yeah, Gavin Stone's gonna be that guy. We have him for one more season. It's just I don't have room for him, and I feel bad. So I'm gonna send him to a team that needs some pitching, and that's gonna be the White Sox. And I'm gonna take their prospect Israel Ramos, so we at least have a prospect for the future. Like I wish I could put him into the team, right? It's just I don't have space for him. Like Gonsolin potentially would be the guy that would get replaced. It's okay, actually. With that, okay, hold on, we're on to something. I'm gonna potentially, I'm gonna give him, there we go. Okay, that works, because we're potentially gonna lose Gonsolin, and I don't know if I would bring him back, maybe on like a 1-year, 2-year deal, but that opens up the door for Stone, so he would just have to chill one more season in the minor leagues, which still sounds terrible. But I'm gonna trade Landon Knack and Johnny DeLuca for Israel Ramos. So I guess that works. I'm going to trade Ricky Vanasco for Tim Gilchrist of the Pirates. Basically what I'm going through is just seeing who's like on kind of a big contract that I'm not going to use anymore, like Gus Varland, not going to use him, and seeing if we can just find some sort of prospects that are like B potential, maybe even like they're 19, but they've got like, they're like high 60s, something like this. Like this guy, you know, maybe like Stockton. Oh man, he's got no clutch, but I can't get him anyways. What about him? No. Okay, so I gotta reel back my expectations here. So there's gonna be somebody that I'm gonna be able to find that we can make a move with. So let's see what we got. All right, the Orioles offered me this guy Severino, so I'm gonna take him. Or why not? And then there were a couple other positions that I need to clear out really quickly, and it really shouldn't take too long. I'm trying to see where they are. So I think actually, oh, the catcher. Yeah, the catcher. First base, we actually do have some depth for sure. And then the catcher. Man, what do we do here? Hold on. How many more options do we have for rushing? I think I'm going to let Cartaya see if he can turn things around this upcoming season. If not, then I let him go and we keep rushing as the backup. Having an 80 rated back, he can play first base, but so can Moya. And Moya needs to be called up soon. He's hitting like crazy good average. So I think outside of that, we've made our moves, we've made our decisions. Contract extensions, I guess Bobby Miller probably should have one too, huh? Maybe like 6 years. We'll backload it. We'll go like that, and there we go. Okay, so budget wise, you saw we were a little bit over, and we're going to continue to be a little bit over. Luckily Freeman's comes off the books this year, but you can see we've got some contracts for the next couple seasons, so I may have handcuffed us a little bit. I might have to start moving a couple players that like I don't think we're going to use. Like Will Smith might be expendable, and I think we could get a crazy deal for him. So let's get to the regular season, and let me run you through this team really fast. So pitching wise, rotation is going to be the same, right? I'm not going to mess with that. Sheehan's going to go here. Gavin Stone shouldn't be called up. Yeah, that's a mess. And then I'm just going to get an extra bench bat in Brendan Donovan. So that's going to be the move, and that should be it. Let's hope that he got called up. He did. Perfect. All right, so pitching untouched except for Bryce Wilson has now joined the team. He's back, and I picked up Garrett Crochet on a 3-year deal. I figured, you know what, he's a good lefty to have, and we needed a lefty. So that's gonna be the team. So there we go. Lineup wise, again, this was kind of moved around a little bit. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Freddie Freeman might be a player that gets like sent down. Ty France should not be at third. It should be Vargas. Second base should be Mookie Betts. Okay, it keeps changing the lineup on me, even though I said it. And then right field is going to be Pajes, and that's going to be the team for the season. Ian Happ has come in, 3-year deal, 18.3 mil each season. Again, I was looking for a star outfielder. Really thin pickings this outfield for this year. Let's see, will it show me who's potentially becoming a free agent this year? No, that happens in the spring training, so I'm gonna have to wait. Unfortunate. Either way, you can kind of see the team. Margot's back. Joseph Ortiz is back. The signed Ty France. And I signed him for the sole reason Freddie Freeman might not be good, you know, so I kind of needed a first baseman. And then we've got the farm system. We've got Malenka, who was a guy that I drafted and he didn't sign with us, so I signed him up in free agency. And then we've got a couple other prospects too. So overall, we're looking good. I will point out that I did sign a couple players that had B potential that were super low rated, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find them. Let's see, it was like Malenka and there was somebody else that had B potential, so I want to see if I can find him. This one, Jim Baker. So just in case you see some random guys that I don't point out in the draft, that's why. Overall, not a terrible draft for this season. Rivera could be a potential decent, maybe like middle reliever, maybe like a long reliever, we'll see. 87 potential for a reliever is good, we need those relievers. And then 85 potential for Pena, so he's definitely a late bloomer. We're gonna expect him by like season 10. As you can see, we're doing well, and I kind of feel like with our team, until it starts like not working, I feel like we kind of just got to stick with it. 112-50, again, winner of the division. We made the postseason, and really quickly, are we the best team in baseball by record? Yeah, we are. So again, right off the rip, 6 points. Alrighty, league leaders wise, Shohei, Dustin May, Bobby Miller, Evan Phillips, just an array of pitchers, league leading stats wise. And then Ohtani was crazy offensively, so love to see that. Awards, delivery man of the year, Cy Young, Hank Aaron, MVP, perfect. Brandon Lau was a name I considered, and I was trying to think about how I could get him into the team. And he signed he probably wouldn't have agreed to the deal that I wanted to do, because it was like 10 years, or not 10 years, 2 years, like 10 mil. So there was no way I was going to get him. But 40 home runs, that would have been nice in this lineup. On the other side, it was Soto. Yeah, I mean, him with Julio Rodriguez, those Mariners are going to be a tough team. We've got Christian Javier, who won Cy Young along with Ohtani. We've got Perdomo and JP Crawford with, oh, he's with the Astros. Okay. Got the batting title. Whitlock and Phillips, relievers of the year. How's he regressing? A lot. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that extra season out of him. He's regressing so much. Rookie of the year went to Michael Hanna. B potential, 80 overall, 31 home runs on the year. Not bad. And then Asa Lacy finally breaking into the league. Not too shabby. Okay. So I forgot to check if there was a generational talent in the last 2 drafts. I don't think there was one last year. I kind of flew through the ratings. I didn't check this year though. So let's take a look at our team. Pitching wise, it kind of stayed the same all year. I think the only guy who pitched at the MLB level was not Enyo De Los Santos. It was Emmett Sheehan, but he struggled a little bit. I'm gonna stick with him. We've got him for the next couple seasons. We're gonna continue to give him some reps for sure. And then Gavin Stone came up a little bit and was good. So I definitely think he's gonna be part of the team next year. I forgot to mention I signed Jack Flaherty. He's just going up in rating, and for 2.3 mil, I felt like it was a steal not to. And you can kind of see the other names that I've got going on. And then if we take a look at our actual pitching staff, Almonte is going to get the postseason. We got Gratterall, who I've also extended, and he's regressing. Like, I can't catch a break with my relievers regressing. And I bet if I were to let him go, he'd be like an 89 overall with his next team, winning reliever of the year every season. Crochet was fantastic in the setup role. We got Caleb Ferguson, who improving, but his stats don't, or his stat line for the season doesn't show it. Bryce Wilson, I think, is just like a really low key reliever to get. A lot of you guys have been asking what roster I use. I've been using the same roster since the trade deadline. I just edit it myself. So if you guys want this one in the vault, hit the like button. There we go. We'll do that. Evan Phillips was good. We've already seen his attributes going down though. Pepio's been good. He is a free agent next year. We got 1 more year of arbitration with him. And as a long reliever, he's been fantastic. So I might try to extend his contract this offseason. Gonsolin, good. Not going to improve too much more. Might just hold his rating for the next couple seasons. I think it's one of those where we let him walk. We've got the young guys to fill in for sure. So I think we'll be okay. Ohtani's still doing his thing. Same thing with Dustin May, and same thing with Bobby Miller, and also Walker Buehler. We're looking good. I mean, again, rotation is set up so that if one guy leaves, we got another guy ready to go. So I'm not too stressed about it. All right, position players. We had a couple guys sent down, and I'm trying to see, or at least 1 or 2 Oh wait, no, I called everybody back up. So Brendan Donovan only had 23 at bats. Realistically, I'm just looking for him to just be a good bench bat. So we've got arbitration next season. I think we'll be okay. Jorbit Vivas played a little bit and was pretty bad. I don't know why he got at bats over Donovan, but okay. Cartaya was good. The issue is Rushing has a better rating than him by like quite a bit. Where is he? 83, and his hitting stats are really good. It's one of those things where we have Will Smith and we have two really good young catchers. We got to move one. Something's got to happen, and I don't know what to do. Because if we look at the rest of my team, the team's good. Like Margot, again, only facing lefties, was suitable. Ty France, not as good as I would have hoped. I really was hoping for better. I really was. Andy Pajes was good. It looks like the sophomore slump didn't hit him. He's improving. I think this is the guy we got in right field. This is our right fielder moving forward. James Outman is regressing by quite a bit. Is about to hit last year of arbitration. He's regressing so much. Wow. The thing is, I let him go. He's gonna pop off with another team, but I might take him on his last year of arbitration, see how he does, and then go from there, because like that's a big fall off. Like 3's a 10, a -6. That's crazy. Miguel Vargas, there we go. 800 OPS, improving. This might be our third baseman moving forward. Maybe I can't move him to second. Mookie's there. Will Smith could play third base, but I don't really want to move Vargas out to left. So that's why we're in a little bit of a conundrum. We've got all these players and not enough positions. Mookie Betts is solid. He might start to regress now that he's 34. So we could have to shuffle the lineup a little bit more. So it might end up where Vargas goes to second base, Smith goes to third, and then then the catching spot opens up. Freddie Freeman's done. You know, at 37 years old, he's had a good career. 429 home runs, almost a 300 average. He may retire, he may not, but with us, he's done. Ian Happ was very good, 919 OPS, 34 home runs. Gavin Lux is still putting up good numbers. We've got him for 2 more years. I've extended a lot of players' contracts, and we'll kind of take a look at the budget really quickly. 58 home runs for Ohtani, 40 doubles. So there's that. And really quickly, the budget, you can kind of see like heading out to like, we'll go to like 2029. You can kind of see the names that we have locked up for the next couple seasons. I've been trying to do like 2, 3, 4-year deals. That way, you know, they start to hit 32, 33, maybe even 34. Then we can start to see them hit free agency. And then they'll start to regress around that time. So even at 2030, we have Mookie, Ohtani, Bobby Miller, Dustin May, Walker Buehler, and Ian Happ. So it's not like we have too much at 2030 on the books either. So we're looking good. We're looking good financially against the Padres, and we are through. Gonsolin's not pitching this one. And now May. All right, next up, the Cardinals, and we are through once again. I mean, this is easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right, let's see what the Mariners. Okay, yeah. I mean, Rojas, Sal Frelick, how did they get him? All right, Soto, J-Rod, Kirilloff, Carson Williams. Okay, Teoscar, Harry Ford, David Hensley's a weird one, you know. Kirby, Gilbert, Luis Castillo. Like, their pitching's good, their bullpen's crazy. Who is this? Kiki Ruiz, 83 overall at 20 years old. Struggled a little bit this season, but he looks insane for the future. Yeah, this is going to be a tough matchup. Ohtani's on the mound. We should be good, right? Everybody's set, ready to go. All right, game 1 we win. Game 2 we lose. 3 we win. 4 we win. Gonsolin loses. It comes down to these last couple games, and it doesn't matter. We win our 4th in a row. Good Lord. Gavin Lux is your MVP. Shohei's the playoff MVP. And again, you know, 30 RBIs between the two of Ohtani and Betts. Insane. And we've had like every single season, it's been a different MVP. It hasn't been the same. I forgot who season one's was. But either way, 4 in a row, another 15 points on the board. And we're up to 60 points in 4 seasons. Season 5, and still within budget, kind of. Like, we're 15 over, we'll make it work. Probably gonna get rid of some of this money though, because some of the players are regressing pretty heavily. And I'm kind of at a spot where I feel like we need some change. We're at 5 seasons, pitching's been fantastic, offense has been fantastic, but we're at the point where some of the players are getting a little bit older, and it might be time to get some of the young prospects in because they're developing. Like, I can't have an 83 overall catcher chilling in the minor leagues, right? I just can't. So I got to do something. And the thing is, Will Smith doesn't become a free agent for another 2 years. Could I move him to third? Yes. Do I have an answer at third? I do. That's just the thing. I brought back Ty France. We've got Moya, who's going to play a majority of first base this year. I'd rather let the young guy go. The CPU put Brendan Donovan on waivers, which sucks because I was actually going to use him. Miguel Vargas is a player that I think can hold it down. He kind of had a breakout year last year, so I'm going to see if he can continue doing that. If he can't continue doing that, well, then we'll find a way to get a new third baseman. There's a lot of good names becoming free agents this year, and that's kind of why I feel like maybe get a change. Plus, we've got Michael Teague. He looks legit. He could play second. He's probably more of a second baseman looking at his fielding and arm. 6'1". I guess he could. I mean, the arm's not bad. I guess he could play third, but like this guy's close to being MLB ready, so like he should be in the team. We've got Michael Farmer. I'm not too worried about him. Ian Happ doesn't have an option next year, but I guess it all depends on what happens with Outman because he's been progressing so quickly, and he's a free agent this year. So we also do have Leody Taveras, who I signed on a 2-year team option. Had a fairly decent season last year, so I thought as like our 4th choice outfielder, he'd be pretty good. Essentially, Outman comes out, Taveras comes in, and then Ramos is going to be the backup. Para, who we trade, I forgot who we traded for him. Michael Bush, maybe. He's kind of getting close to MLB ready. The hitting numbers are still a little low. And then we also do have Leaky, who good arm, good speed. Hitting numbers are starting to get really good too. So he's right around the corner. So like we're at a point where like if Mookie Betts starts to regress heavily, we're covered in the outfield. And then I have a person in mind that I want to go after. So we'll see what happens this offseason. So pitching's basically the same. Bullpen, there's some new names like Trevor Steven. And then Bryce Wilson's still here. Got a few guys on waivers. I think Flaherty, Sheehan, Patino, and Berea. You're going to see a lot of repeat relievers because at this point in the save, those are the ones that are kind of good. I've also made Sanchez, Montana, Vargas. McQueen, Lightning McQueen, Montano, and Sanchez. I've made them relievers instead of starters. I noticed their stamina was a little low, and I thought, you know what, they might be decent relievers. So there's that. So that's really about it. Yeah, I think I covered it all. Not too much has changed with the pitching, and realistically with the lineup either, because I felt like we've got some really good players here. So Ty France is in, Leody Taveras is in, and that's really it. I mean, the team's the same. I feel like we've got such a good team that like we don't need to change up too much. Alrighty, I normally don't do trades at the deadline. This is probably going to be the only one. Will Smith is dropped by like 5 overall. You can kind of, I guess like what, 3 overall, 2 overall. Either way, he's starting to regress pretty heavily, and I'm looking at it going, you know what? He's been really good for us, and if he's going to continue to decrease in overall, let's get rid of him. It's only 19 mil, so it's really not that big of a contract. It's just we got 2 more years. We got this year and next year, and then I can opt out of it. When we have 2 catchers who are in their 80s, I feel like we should just turn to them now. He hasn't been having a terrible season, and he's been really good for us. So I'm going to trade him to the Blue Jays. They need a catcher. I'm going to get a good starting pitching prospect in Freitas. I'm going to get a catching prospect in Cologne, and then I'm just going to get another reliever prospect in Silva. I'm going to get rid of some decent salary in Gratterall and Will Smith. Gratterall's in AAA anyways, so that's probably going to be the only move I make. Evan Phillips I can get rid of after this season, and really the only other player that I could think of possibly getting rid of is Ian Happ, because we don't have an opt-out after the season, but he's having a good year, so I don't really want to get rid of him. Here's our draft class for season 5. Rolando De Jesus. We could have used an outfielder for the future. Possibly got one here. 19 years old, decent fielding speed and hitting stats, and then an 84 potential third baseman. So at least we got those 3 players. The other ones were really bad. Again, I can't draft any of my players. I'm letting the CPU do it, so not too bad. Once again, we won the division and made the postseason, so we're up to 3 points already. And with 105 wins, there's a chance a team equaled us or even beat us. Like the Rangers got 100 and the Nationals got 91. So again, best record in baseball, already at 6 points. Staying consistent. Ohtani had the most strikeouts. Dustin May and Bobby Miller did very well pitching wise. And Ohtani once again was kind of crazy offensively. If we take a look at awards, we got reliever of the year for Evan Phillips, who, okay. Cy Young went to Dustin May. And then we have a Hank Aaron, an MVP, and a batting title. There we go. Cody Bellinger with the Cardinals. Okay. But Ohtani won MVP along with Gunnar Henderson. All right. Interesting. Cy Young went to Shane Bieber of the Athletics and Dustin May. Bobby Miller was also part of the race. Ohtani was the batting title winner along with Gunnar Henderson. Dylan Coleman was a reliever of the year along with Evan Phillips, who was down to a 76. Like I said, I will be opting out of the contract, even though he's been so good for us, just shy of 300 saves. If he was like just around the 80 mark, maybe like a 78, 79, I would definitely bring him back to see if we can get him to that 300 save mark. I just, maybe we'll bring him back. We'll see. Rookie of the year went to Austin Hendrick and Alan Light. So there we are. So taking a look at our team, I already know this is going to be a mess. Yep. All right, Caleb Ferguson had some time in the majors, 50 innings. Wasn't as good. We might be in the market for another lefty. I feel like we've been saying that a little bit. And the Maddox Bruns got some time in the majors and was actually pretty decent. Just walked a lot of people. 5 people in 6 innings. Not what you want to see. If we take a look at our starters in the major leagues, we had 4 innings from Sheehan. I think definitely next year he needs to be part of the middle relief crew. We'll see what we can do. Trevor Stephen, I was hoping was good. You look at his per 9s and you're expecting him to be an elite reliever. He's just not. I don't know why. Maybe he needs to be like a setup guy or something. I don't know. Jack Flaherty came up, was our setup guy, and was fantastic. Garrett Crochet struggled a little bit. I'm going to see how he does next year. I mean, we don't have an opt-out anyways, so Evan Phillips was unbelievable. It was just insane. Bryce Wilson was also very good. Gavin Stone, it was okay. First full season, you know, we're going to give him more time. He's got plenty of time for the future. He's still developing. I'm pretty happy with it. Ryan Pepio's been fantastic. He becomes a free agent this year. I'm going to see what he wants. Because again, we've got so many pitchers, right? That I feel like if we lose him and his price is just way too high, we're not going to lose sleep over it, right? Dustin May's been fantastic for us. We've got him for way more years. So as long as he holds his rating, we should be okay, which means he's not going to hold his rating. Ohtani's slightly going down, but at the same time, 3.6 ERA, 1.2 whip, outstanding. Walker Buehler's getting better and better, and he's been crazy good. And same thing with Bobby Miller. I mean, our pitching staff is just gross. It just is. Looking at this, speaking of Cologne, that Cologne reliever that we got, I think it was from the Cubs, got chosen in the Rule 5 draft. I didn't realize he was Rule 5 eligible. He got chosen in the Rule 5 draft. Let's see. Jose Ramos did have some time in the majors. Wasn't great. And that's really about it in terms of people I need to point out. So Cannon Smith and Jigba was just a guy I picked up in free agency. I didn't expect him to make the team, but we kind of need him. Brendan Donovan had 12 at-bats and was okay. Nothing too crazy. Jorbit Vivas, again, was pretty bad. So there's that. We need to add to the bench. I feel like our bench has gotten a little weak over the last couple seasons. Diego Cartaya had 90 at-bats. He's just going to be our backup, and I think I'm okay with that. Joseph Ortiz, he's been okay, nothing crazy. I need him to kind of pick it up a little bit. Dalton Rushing's potential went up to A, which is fantastic. He is going to be our starter moving forward. He's up to an 87 overall. I mean, we just got to run with him. He just looks too good to like not use him for the rest of the rebuild. Tavares took over for James Outman because James Outman was starting to slump a little bit, and then Tavares started to slump a little bit, and then I put Outman in, and Outman did pretty well. So basically they had like half a season each. I'm still going to let Outman go. He's regressing way too much to keep him around. Miguel Vargas is improving, but I think we've seen kind of where he's going to be. Around 20 home runs, he's going to get on base, and he's going to have an okay OPS. But I think if we're going to try to win and be consistent with it, I think he's going to be more of a platoon guy for us. If we need somebody to come in, face lefties, he can come in. If we need someone to come in and just play a different position, he can come in off the bench. I think that's kind of his role moving forward. Andy Pa has had a really good season once again. Gavin Lux, okay, all right. OPS went down a little bit, but on base percentage is still okay at 360. Mookie Betts is starting to regress pretty heavily, so we got to keep an eye on that, especially with 4 years left on his contract. Moya came in, gave us a 270 average with a 339 OPS. First season, we're looking decent. Ian Happ was good, almost 40 home runs. And then Shohei, 47 home runs, 50 doubles. Almost, I mean, what? A season and a half more, he's at 500 home runs. I mean, we're looking pretty good. So everything should be set for the postseason. Can we make it 5 in a row, which should be absolutely gross? Emmett Sheehan needs to go there. And we should be good. Let's do it. Against the Marlins, we are through. What a surprise. We just absolutely flew through that. Bueller, Miller. Nope. That's not what I wanted. Bueller, Miller, Pepio. There we go. All right. Cardinals time. And we are through again and taking on the Rangers this time, which I saw Drew Elam. So it looks like they've changed up the pitching staff a little bit. Oh, Dave Elam. I mean, we gotta get to this pitching. We've got to get to this pitching. Oh, speaking of Cologne, he was good. We could have used that reliever. That's unfortunate that he got taken. Their pitching is not good. We should definitely do some damage there, but their offense is crazy good. So let's see. Ohtani's on the mound. We're set up perfectly. Now let's see how we do against the Rangers. We sweep them. Like I said, offense has got to come to play. And once again, it did. 5 in a row, another 15 points. Mookie Betts is the World Series MVP. Moya was the playoff MVP. Mookie Betts hit 500 with 1 RBI in the World Series, and he's Christopher Moya 375, 7 RBIs. I mean, again, there we go. And I think again we have a different World Series MVP. I think that's 5 now. I can't remember who number 1 was. I can't even remember who number 2 was now. But either way, we're looking good. So another 15 points times 5. What is that? 60? No, that can't be right. 75. That's math. 75 points in 5 seasons. Are we on pace for 150 points in this rebuild? That would be crazy. Let's get to season 6. All right, season 6, I went big, and budget wise, I'm like about 20 mil over, which is about what I've been for the entire rebuild. Pitching wise, same. Yeah, it's the same. I didn't really even like sign anybody new. I don't think so. I kind of just rocked with what we had. I noticed that some of our prospects were getting close to MLB ready, and so I was like, you know what, let's just rock with it. I brought back Evan Phillips. I am going to give him the closer job. I don't think I had him in the closer spot just yet, but I'll put him there. And then we have plenty of prospects. I might trade this guy because I don't think he's going to be good. I'm just going to leave it at that. He's 82 overall. I might trade him. And then we've got plenty of depth if we ever need to call somebody up. Lineups wise, this is the big move. Gunnar Henderson, he's going to play shortstop for us this year. Gavin Lux is going to move to second. And you're probably thinking, whoa, where's Mookie Betts? He fell off a lot last year, and I'm afraid he's going to continue to do that. So at this point, I feel like let's rock with the younger guy, Gavin Lux. Mookie Betts can still be with the team. He can be on the bench, help us out. But it wasn't just like a small fall off either. Like almost 10 home runs. The batting average dropped, 30 points? On base percentage dropped 20 points. OPS dropped like 140 points. Like it was a lot that he dropped off. And I'm not trying to be rude to him. He's still a good ball player. It's just we're gonna rock like this. Honestly, what's probably gonna happen is I'm probably gonna take Gunnar Henderson out versus lefties, even though he was disgusting last year. He hit 40 home runs in 128 games. That's insane. Shohei, Ian Happ. I signed Jordan Walker to play third base this year. He'll probably move back to the outfield once Ian Happ leaves us after this season. But 18 mil for a 26-year-old Jordan Walker. Yes, Gunnar Henderson was a fat contract. I tried to sign Ronald Acuna instead of Gunnar Henderson or Jordan Walker. I was trying to sign Acuna instead of one of them, and he was dead set on staying with the Braves. No matter what offer, 15 years, 10 years, 35 mil, it didn't matter what it was. He was going back to the Braves. And Lee Key, I've moved him from right field to center field. He's going to be our starting center fielder moving forward. And that's really it. The team's back. Tavares is back. All the squad's looking good. I feel good about this team. Like, we're first, 10th in power, first in pitching. Like, we look insane. Let me see if we got any contracts we need to worry about here soon. None that I'm, like, too stressed about, right? I'm looking at this. Maybe Gavin Lux. But, like, we just got Gunnar Henderson who could play short for us. We've got that guy. It's not Fletcher. What's his name? Teague. I was thinking of Farmer. It's Teague who could come up next year and help us out, first base, second base, or third base. So we've got cover, and I think we're just gonna start changing because we've had the team together for so long. I want to make some changes. So season 6, let's do it. 109 and 53 again. Pretty good record. Standings wise, let's see if we were the best team in all of baseball. Yeah, so we're already up to 6 points, which is awesome. League leaders, Shohei, who's really good with strikeouts, Bobby Miller, Ryan Pepio. Evan Phillips, once again, with saves, easily eclipsed 300, so we got him that. And Shohei was unbelievable offensively. Awards, what do we got? A Cy Young, a Hank Aaron, a Rookie of the Year for Leaky, and an MVP. So we got 2 players in the MVP race, which is awesome. On the other side, whoa! Okay, all right. Just saying, he could have been on our squad. He could have been on our team. Just saying. Ohtani and Espino are the pitchers, the Cy Young winners. Arozarena and Brandon Marsh, batting title winners. Hunter Harvey is your reliever of the year. And Class A is on the AL side. Evan Phillips couldn't get the three-peat going, unfortunate. And then Rookie of the Year went to Lee Key and Omar Montano. Okay. All right. Taking a look at our team. Let's take a look at pitchers really quickly. I don't think any of these guys besides Medina did. Oh, Medina did get called up. Okay. Medina was actually kind of nice. I've been stashing him in AAA for about 2-3 seasons now. I don't think I'm going to use him, but he doesn't look bad. If you're looking for like a cheap little pitcher, help you out of the bullpen potentially, or maybe even like a starter, help you out back of the rotation. Doesn't look bad. Ozuna didn't pitch. Bruns, I know, didn't pitch. Freitas shouldn't have pitched, and it really should have been Lewis Hanna. He did pitch. The whip's a little high, but overall it's not terrible. I might actually give him a shot. And then Sheehan struggled. Unfortunate. If we look at the major league level, Berea is going to be the guy that takes over for Sheehan. We're going to have Luis Patino, who was our setup for a little bit. He did very, very good. Jack Flaherty also was in the setup role for a little bit. As you can see, 35 holds. He started to struggle. That's when Patino took over. Flaherty was good in the middle relief, though. And then Crochet, there we are. He does become a free agent. I'll see if I can bring him back. He's one of the better lefties to have. But around this time is usually when he kind of starts to decrease. So we'll keep an eye on it. Evan Phillips, 34, 71 overall. Look at the attributes. The man held it down this season, and he's up to 341 saves in his career. Bryce Wilson, also a fantastic season. And Gavin Stone struggled a little bit in the long relief role. We paid $1 million for him. Plus, he's on arbitration for the next couple seasons. No biggie. Ryan Pepio is regressing, and I just gave him a $15 million contract. I probably am trading him this offseason. He was good. You know what? Like, I'm not even upset that he regressed. I really should have known better. I should have just seen if I could have lowballed him on a 2-year deal and then maybe gone somewhere else. I thought 3 years would have been safe. But we've got plenty of depth. I'm thinking we just flip him this offseason. Dustin May still doing very, very good. Love to see it. Still holding his rating. Still got 4 years left on his deal. Ohtani is slowly regressing, as you can see. It's small. It will start to catch up though, and we've got a few years left. I will have to extend his contract 1 year, so we got to remember to do that so he doesn't walk in free agency. Bueller once again was also very good, and his contract is up next season. Ooh, we got a team option. I'm definitely going to take it, and then we'll see how much he regresses next year, and we might bring him back. And then Bobby Miller's only getting better, which is awesome, and he was insane. So luckily we have him for quite some time. Looking at our position players, I don't know who was called up this year, and it's only because I don't know who was on the 40 man, and I don't think any of them are. So let's just take a look at the team. Brendan Donovan had 4 home runs and 9 hits. Pretty impressive. Diego Cartaya was our backup catcher. Like we said, he's probably going to stay there. Mookie Betts, I'm gonna be honest, he struggled for the first like 2 months. He was hitting like 203. So it's good to see he brought it up a little bit. He's down to an 86. We're going to keep him in the team, though. Miguel Vargas, you know what? As a bench bat, 100 ABs, he got it done. I do feel kind of bad that we just kicked him out of the team after one, like, bad season. And especially since he's at 87 overall, about to hit free agency. But I think based on, like, how he's performed, we'll be able to bring him back on a cheap deal. This guy. I don't know what to do with him. He's not really doing anything. You know what I mean? We got one good season, and then since then, he's been mediocre at best. Leody Taveras is starting to regress. I paid him $10 million this season, and he was a decent outfielder for us. So I don't hate the move that we made. This one sucks. He's regressing heavily. So I think we've seen the best of him. I think maybe we just don't even offer him arbitration. If he goes to a different team, that's fine. I'm thinking like the way we set up the team, I'll talk to you in a bit about it, but it's one of those things where he's regressing. Maybe he joins another team and turns things around. He gave us 2 really good seasons, and to be honest, if I can bring, actually on arbitration, I'd probably bring him back on a cheap deal and he fills the Leody Taveras role. I think that's what we do. Dalton rushing, yeah, I need you to do better. I need you to do better. Jordan Walker was fantastic with 27 home runs. Moya was also very good with a 345 on base percentage and a 280 average. We got Gunnar Henderson, who was also very good. I think this is going to be a key pickup for us. And then Gavin Lux. He's not regressing too much, but I think, you know, he's one of those where it's, if we get a cheap deal, great. If not, we turn to Michael Teague. Ian Happ was fantastic for us once again. Another one of those guys who's a free agent. We're starting to open up some money. And then Lee Key, Rookie of the Year. Decent numbers. And we'll take a look at Shohei's 45 home runs, or 45 doubles, 12 triples, and 50 home runs. Just shy of that 500 mark. He'll definitely hit it next year. So season 6, we're looking good. Everything should be set. I even think the lineups should be set. Oh, this one's not. What position is this? Center field? All right, there we go. Boom. I don't know why they took him out there. Either way, that was a no DH lineup, so it doesn't really matter. Are we good to go? We are. Postseason time. I might actually, with the way Buehler and Miller have been pitching, I'm going to let Ohtani be the 3 for the postseason. And we are probably going to lose because of it. Wow. Are we really going to get knocked out here? Yeah, the Reds. Let's take a look at their team. All right. It was bound to happen. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a team. Rhett Lauder's good. Javier. Yeah. I shouldn't have messed with it, you know? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I messed with it. So only 6 points this season. What a shame. Alrighty, season 7. I've already made a mistake and I accidentally sent down Patino. I didn't mean to. It was actually meant to be Sheehan, and then I was supposed to leave Patino, but I just kind of like autopilot, and so he's on waivers now. So I have Gilchrist up. I don't like it. I just got to wait for him to pass waivers, and then I'll bring him back up. So team is currently this. Pepio is going to be in this spot. I'm going to let Gavin Stone take over for, actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to rock like this. Pepio is an option at the end of the year. So like if he does bad, he's out. I'm not even going to keep him in the rotation. I'm going to start shaking things up. So like Lewis Hanna can come in, Ozuna can come in. We have a couple others. I think we actually have one on waivers. I think we have so many starters. It's crazy. So I'm not really too stressed about keeping one that we just don't need. If he's bad, we're going straight to Lewis Hanna, and we're gonna see how he does, and then we'll go from there. So otherwise, I brought in Liberatore, I brought in Vesia, and that's really about it. Liberatore was 5 mil with the club option. Vesia was just 6 mil straight up. And that's really about it. You can kind of see what I've got going on in terms of other signings that I've made. Some good, mostly just to fill out the roster. And then the lineup, you got Mookie, you got Andy Pajes. I brought him back on arbitration. Same thing with Ortiz, same thing with Donovan, same thing with Cartaya. Michael Farmer has been called up to help us out. I didn't realize he can play like every position. I thought it was just the infield. So that's pretty helpful. And then Michael Teague is going to be our new leadoff guy at second base. Gunnar Henderson, Jordan Walker, Ohtani, Leaky, Moya, Dalton Rushing, Ian Happ is back along with Miguel Vargas. I was looking at the options in free agency. I could have gone young like Walker Jenkins. I believe that's who it is with the Twins. Is it Jenkins? Is that his last name? Walker. Yeah, Walker Jenkins. I was going to sign him. He signed it. He was a super cheap deal. And at 25 years old, I was like, man, this is actually a pretty good pickup. And then I backed out. I was like, you know what? No, let's just go back with what we have. Who else was available? Dylan Cruz was available. And then outside of that, it was actually kind of a weak free agency class. There really wasn't too much that really, I was like, you know what? Let's go for it. So I just brought back a couple familiar faces, and I'm hoping maybe next year we can change some things up. Plus, like, for the prices that I got these two for, I was like, you know what? Let's keep the team. The one trade that I considered is actually, we got to go back to the Twins. I think I can get Ronald Acuna Jr. I think if Pepio's involved, I think I can get him. I do think I have to trade away one of my players. I noticed that someone Farmer went up to B potential. I noticed that in the off season, and he was C potential before, so I don't know when it happened, but it did. So I might trade this catcher that we have. I signed this guy in free agency. He's 34 with A potential. I doubt they want him, but they don't want Cologne. Could I trade like Cartaya? I don't really want to get rid of rushing. They do really want rushing though. Is there somebody here that I could get rid of? Like we traded for Ramos. Ooh. Am I about to trade for Ronald Acuna Jr.? We'd have a cluttered outfield, so that would be an issue. So who's getting the boot is the question, right? How are we readjusting the lineup to fit Acuna? I think that would be fun. I don't think we do, because like we have Walker and Wright, we have Vargas, and we take out Vargas again. Bring them back. You're gonna play. Just kidding. We traded for Ronald Acuna Jr. Sit on the bench. I feel like that's kind of mean. So I think we keep it like this. Defensively, we are atrocious. We are so bad. But I think we keep it like this. I think we've got Teagan now. We've got Key in. We've got Rushing, who's a prospect. Moya, who's a prospect we drafted. Vargas was like a young player for the Dodgers. We brought in a couple new faces, and I think we keep it. Acuna would be cool, but I kind of like the group that we've built here. So let's just see how this goes. All right, I'm gonna get rid of Gavin Stone. He was claimed on waivers, and I pulled back the waiver claim. The Yankees wanted him, so I'm gonna take 3 of their best relievers. Can I do that? Yeah, perfect. All right, I'm gonna take 3 of their relievers for Gavin Stone. He was getting roughed up. It was like a 7 ERA, so we're gonna do that. Already 110 and 52. Again, a crazy good season, and I'm assuming. I mean, there's a chance, but the chance, no. We were insane. 280 average as a team, 357 ERA, like that's crazy. So again, 6 points right off the rip. League leader wise, Bobby Miller and Walker Buehler seem to be a crazy good combo for pitchers. I forgot to mention that I extended Walker Buehler by 1 more season, and then Ohtani led the league in runs and RBIs. So let me quickly show you. He is regressing, but I thought, you know what, I definitely can get 1 more season out of him, and I'm glad I got that extension over, because it was for 20 mil. He's probably going to ask for like 30 mil if we went into free agency with it. So a Cy Young and an MVP, love to see it, and there we are. Ohtani's dropping pretty quickly. He's down to a 91. That's actually not too bad. So not too bad. Crazy ERA, and he won the Cy Young. Okay. Devers won MVP on the other side. Casey Mize was the Cy Young winner on the AL side. We somehow won Cy Young like this. I don't know. Batting title went to Marsh and Freeman. And Mundo Santana is the reliever of the year for the Rays, and Hunter Harvey for the Nationals. And then Mac Kingman. Ooh, the potential went down. That's tough. He just won Rookie of the Year, had a crazy season, and they're like, you know what? We got to tone him down a bit. And then Manny Nieve won it for the Angels. Okay. All right, so team-wise, let me show you that let me see who they called up. Ooh, Ozuna. Charles Ozuna, born out of Japan. Okay, he was good in 20 innings, and I don't think anybody else got MLB time. Let me see. Oh, he did, but he was. I left him in too much. I forgot to take him out after the waiver claims. Yeah, he was not good. He was not good. Patino came up and did his business, man. He's good. Flaherty is gone. Emmett Sheehan came in. He was very good this season. Love to see that. Same thing with Crochet. I gave him another year. I think I'm going to keep him around just because I think he's going to be really good. Vesio was fantastic in his 50 innings. He's got 63 strikeouts. Bryce Wilson was also very good. He's starting to regress a little bit, so maybe sneak in another season, maybe let him go. Liberatore was also very good. I gave him a 2-year deal, so I'm keeping that. We got Lewis Hanna, who came up and absolutely did fantastic. 100 innings, pitched 17 starts, was solid. Pepio took over the long relief role and was decent. I don't know if he's 15 mil decent, but he was okay. Dustin May is starting to regress a little bit, which sucks because we still got 3 more seasons with him. 2 more if we get out of the option. But he was good. Ohtani was iffy. It might be one of those things where we're paying him stupid amount of money and we just have to put him in like the long relief role and keep a new pitcher. Like that might just be what it is. And the only thing he does is DHs, because the hitting stats are still okay. So we'll see about that. Bobby Miller looks like we may have hit his cap with 3 more seasons to go, but he's been very good. And same thing with Walker Buehler. Our pitchers are nasty. AAA. He lost some potential. That's unfortunate. Otherwise, I don't think anybody else got some time. So let's talk about the team. Michael Farmer only got 15 at-bats this season, but he was really good. So I think this is a guy we're going to get some more ABs for, because he looks kind of good. Brendan Donovan's probably a guy that we're going to get rid of him, so ABs aren't taken away from Teague, even though he was fantastic. Pages. We've got 1 more year of arbitration. I just don't know if it's worth it. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Cartaya has been really bad too, and he's another guy that's about to hit free agency soon. So I don't really know what to do with him. Ortiz was a little better. Like basically every number went up, which is awesome to see. Mookie Betts had a really good season off the bench this year, which is good. You know, I want him to do well. It's just, he's got to be a bench guy. Miguel Vargas, the dude gets on base, but he just doesn't have a high average. I don't know what to do with it. Dude's a 91. Like, what do I do with this info? Like 15 mil is a super cheap deal. Maybe platoon him against lefties only. I really don't know what to do. He's weird. Dalton Rushing is fantastic. 33 home runs. Jordan Walker was also very good with 30 home runs. And then Michael Teague, his potential went up to A. Oh man, 87 overall. What a season. What a season. How did he not win Rookie of the Year? Who won Rookie of the Year? He got second. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so back to position players. Where's Teague? Let's see what Hap was up to. I gave him a 2-year deal. We have the club option, but he's dipping. Maybe. It might be one of those I decline it, see what else is available, and then go from there. We've got Gunnar Henderson, who's regressing. No. Don't do this to me. Don't do an Adley Rutschman to me. Don't sign with the team and then absolutely start to suck. But 50 doubles is awesome. Lee Key, I think this is probably the best we're going to see from him. I gave him a long contract for a super cheap amount, so I'm happy with that. If he can sit around here for the next couple seasons, I'm fine. And then Christopher Moya continues to rake. This guy is low-key just like John Olerud all over again. And then Ohtani, 46 home runs, 38 doubles. So I'm not going to mess with the pitching staff. I'm going to leave it as is, and we're going to head into the postseason and hopefully get back on track with the World Series. And we are through, so that's a good start. As much as I want to let Lewis Hanna pitch, I'm not going to, and we're just going to keep going like this. We're taking on the Pirates, who I know have a really good team. So if we lose here, I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. We're going to get swept. We're not. Okay. I'm not gonna lie though, the Pirates, I've been keeping track of the Pirates because they've been making some signings. I mean, yeah, that's a stacked team. Like, we lost, like, they got this guy. He had a sub one. His ERA for the postseason was like 1.7, but he's putting up these numbers. But then, yeah, the whole team is gross. Look, I understand why we lost there. 6 points this season. I gotta tally it up now. 87 total points. Not bad. Off season, the Pirates ended up winning the World Series. Understandable. Their team is gross. We need to up our game. And like I said, I think we're gonna decline. Accept. I'm gonna decline. Not 15 mil worth. Can I get you for like half that? Not 11. Too much. Vesia, let's bring him back for a season. We'll do. He wants 9. I'll give him 10. He was kind of nasty. Patino continues to do well. I'll give you 6. And Donovan can go. And Bryce Wilson, I'm going to let go because I want to see what else is available. So, yeah, there's that. Off-season time. Let's see what I can do. Starting season 8. And we're looking good. Rotation currently looks like this. Actually, it's going to look like that. Ozuna's going to get his debut. Yeah, he's getting there. He's going to be that long reliever. Libertor, Estevan Sanchez. It's Esteban Sanchez, but he looks decent. Former starter. I believe he was a starter. We turned him into a reliever. I don't remember now. Let's go take a peek. Let's go see roster history. We'll go MLB. And you go, Juan Soto. We'll get to that in a second. Let me see. Steven. Yeah, Steven. His round 3 pick. Hannah was also a draft of ours. Moya was. Montano is. He's on waivers right now. I was gonna have him in the bullpen, but he'll be that fringe guy. Ozuna was a pick for us. Teague, Key, Farmer. We traded for Para. But for the most part, a lot of the prospects we're seeing are players that we drafted, so that's pretty good. Freitas is in the team, or he's in AAA, or he's on waivers. He might actually be on waivers right now, but he was part of a trade. But Sheehan, Patino, Vesia, and Crochet. So there we go. That's the bullpen. I like it. I like it a lot. The team looks really good. Pitching might become an issue soon, so we got to watch out for that. This is currently the bench. It looks really good. Para, we made that trade. I forgot with maybe the Phillies. I don't remember now, but he's with the team. He's gonna be that extra outfielder, but you can kind of see what we've got going on with the squad. Henderson, we signed Juan Soto. That is what I'm talking about. So the other players I looked at: Drew Jones, Jordan Lawler. I wrote him down. Wyatt Langford, and Jackson Holiday. Those were the other options that I was looking at. I just thought, you know what, Juan Soto, too good to pass up, right? Like 24 years old. The Tigers didn't give him a contract. The dude's hit almost 200 home runs in 6 seasons. Almost 600 RBIs, almost 1,000 hits. The guy's legit. 260 average with an 845 OPS. Max deal, 9 years. He's on the team. He looks insane. This guy's got to stand it. Like, this is our second baseman. So with that in mind, Henderson's at third, or at short. Walker's in right. Key's in center. We've got Moya at first, rushing at catcher. Teague's gonna slot over to third, and then Miguel Vargas is at in left. And then of course the bench here. It's a crazy team, man. It is so good. Yeah. So I didn't set this lineup, so I'm glad I looked. So we're gonna go like that, and then he goes here, and then versus lefties, Moya might lead off, which is kind of crazy. We throw Soto, and then maybe flip those, maybe put him a little bit lower, and then just have a bunch of lefties at the bottom. I guess that works either way. Oh no, it'll be a switch hitter, so it'll be a righty. Either way, this team is insanely good. We're first in contact, second in power, first in pitching for a reason. Am I over budget? Yeah, a lot. But oh well, it happens. Season 8, let's do it. All right, another dominant season, 117 wins. I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, it's insane how good this team is. I'm not even, 6 points right off the rip. I'm not even worried about it. I know it's the best record in baseball. League leaders, Bobby Miller was insane pitching wise, and Shohei's still killing it. So there's that. Awards: Cy Young, Hank Aaron, and MVP. All right, there we go. That's what I like to see. What is that, 3 in a row for Ohtani? On the other side, it was Royce Lewis. We've got AJ McWilliams. Okay, for the Angels, it was actually pretty decent. That's a good season. And then Bobby Miller won it for us. Lewis Hanna, a guy that I said I wasn't too sure about. Hey, he held it down this season. 32 starts, really good. And then that guy from the Pirates with a 5 ERA, 256 strikeouts in 186 innings. This guy's crazy. He's got 1,200 strikeouts in 1,000. Jeez. Oh, his Ks per 9 is 99. That's why. Riley Green batting title along with Drew Gross. Okay, that guy looks legit too. The Pirates are gonna be tough, man. Pirates are gonna be really tough. Trevor Steven. I told you, every time someone leaves me, they end up being a really good pitcher. Look at that. 2 ERA after he left, a 4 ERA for us. Maybe he just had. Maybe he's a closer. Maybe that's the problem. Like, every other ERA wasn't fantastic because he wasn't a closer. That's the problem. Cody Hoyer won it for the Reds. Wyatt Taveras won it for the Diamondbacks for Rookie of the Year, along with AJ McWilliams. So he won a Cy Young and a Rookie of the Year. That's pretty impressive. All right, pitching wise, Sanchez did struggle this year. He did. So I took him out. That's really all you got to know. Jared Kimball came up for the postseason. Vesia was fantastic once again. We got Emmett Sheehan, who, again, really, really solid season. Love to see it. I'll probably continue to offer an arbitration, even though he's not going to get much better. if at all. Same thing with Patino. Patino's probably gone after this season. We've just got too many good young relievers that I'm ready to use. Garrett Crochet was fantastic with the saves. It looks like we've kind of seen the best from him. He'll probably hold his rating for another season or two. I'll see how much money he wants. If it's a lot, I'll probably look for a new closer. We might even have one in-house. Matthew Liberatore has been fantastic for us, so there's that. And then Ozuna was our long reliever, and he was really good. He was solid. I love to see it. Lewis Hanna, fantastic full season. Got a full season and delivered. Love it. Ohtani down to an 85. I think we got to take him out of the rotation. So there's that. We got to take him out of the rotation after this season for sure. Dustin May, oh man. Oh, wow, he fell off too. What is going on? But he was really good. Same. Oh, Bueller. I don't like that, but we're going to let him walk. So there's that. Bobby Miller was fantastic. And then back to the top. So if we look at, oops, I didn't mean to back out. Not standings, player stats, position players. In terms of players that were sent up or sent down, I don't think there was anybody. Cartaya was decent in his at-bats this season. Michael Farmer didn't get a lot of at-bats, which is super disappointing. But with Ohtani being a long reliever now and in the DH spot, he's not going to pitch at all, which means we're going to need an extra pitcher next year, which means one less player on the bench to take away from Farmer. So I guess there's that. That's a positive. Joseph Ortiz, I'm going to let him walk after the season. Gave us like, what, 2 seasons? That's cool. Jason Parra came up. Was decent as our extra outfielder, so he should get more at bats as there's one less guy on the bench as well. Vargas, finally, it took forever. Finally, that is what I'm talking about. 30 home runs, 919 OPS, 380 on base percentage. Potential went up. Thank you. Michael Teague also was very good. Love to see that. And then Dalton Rushing's up to a 98 overall. And we got him on a fairly cheap deal for the rest of the rebuild, which is awesome. Gunnar Henderson is regressing, which is super disappointing. Please don't do that. At least get me through the rest of the rebuild. We got 2 more seasons. Just get me through that. And then Jordan Walker's also putting up some great numbers. And then same with Lee Key. So, Juan Soto. We still got 3 more players. Juan Soto, 36 home runs. Yeah, give me more of that. Christopher Moya continues to just get on base at an elite level. And then Shohei Ohtani again hit 50 home runs with 42 doubles. So solid. Once again, the only thing I want to do for the postseason is I'm going to leave it as is. We got to leave it as is. And taking on the Reds, sweep them. Perfect. Next up, the Pirates, which, again, let's do this. Yep. Ohtani here. Dustin May there. And let's see how we do against the Pirates. The Pirates, man, they're tough. Can we do it? Can we do it this year? We did it. All right, we're taking on the Royals or the Tigers in the World Series. It is the Tigers, Juan Soto's former team, and they've got a squad. Okay. Ooh, Sheldon McDermott. Okay. Zach Bean, Riley Green. That's a good outfield, those 3 right there. Pete Alonso, Collier. Okay. Pitching wise, the pitching's decent. Like, it's good. But again, we should beat them. So Bueller's on the mound. Is that what I want? Bueller, Miller. Yep, perfect. All right, World Series time. Can we get back to winning ways? It's not looking great. It's not looking great unless we can turn it around here, and we do not. Tough. So playoffs, division, best record in baseball, that's 6. Making the World Series 4, so a total of 10 points this season. Brings us up to a total of 97 on the rebuild. Lee Key was the playoff MVP. It's tough. We just couldn't close it out this year once again. All close games besides this like first and last game. Everything else was what, a 2-run game the entire time? That's tough. All right, last 2 seasons. Let's do it. All right, season 9. Here we go. Team is basically the same, not gonna lie. Ohtani's over here. So Freitas, Ramos, and Ozuna are all getting thrown into the rotation. I figured, you know what? We're at the end. Let's let the young guys play. Hannah, Dustin May's in there. Dustin May is a free agent after this year, so we don't have to worry about him being in the rotation too much longer. And then Bobby Miller, and then Liberatore, and then we've got the youngsters in the bullpen with Vesia and Crochet to round it all out. So I like it. We've also got like a crazy amount of talent chilling in the farm system. not necessarily starters. We've kind of cleared out everything. I think Scott Lyon will actually be useful to us next year, but outside of that, we've kind of cleared house. A lot of the guys have either been turned into relievers or we're using them right now. So we're at that point. I mean, we're 9 years in the future, so it makes a little bit of sense. You can kind of see we got this guy in the draft. We got this guy in the draft. This guy was a draft pick. This guy was a pick that I mentioned that I didn't sign, but then I got him in free agency. Where did I get Pelletier? I don't remember now. Let me take a peek. Let's see. Let's scroll and see where I can find Pelletier. Free agency. I mean, sure. Look at those fielding and running stats. Speed. That's the word. Either way, Mason Hill is another player where I don't know where I got him from, but he's in the team. So let me find him. MLB Mason Hill, third round of the draft. So the CPU picked him up for me, which is awesome because he looks legit. He's our new extra bat on the squad. So I thought, let's throw him in there. We've got Colon, we've got Sanchez, who I signed to a 1-year deal, $9 million. Just hit some home runs for me. That's all I'm looking for. Farmer, Para, and then the lineup currently looks like this, untouched. Dustin May should not be in the DH spot. Give me back Ohtani. And then let's make sure Ohtani's back in the DH spot. Otherwise, team looks legit. Team looks so good. I'm hoping another World Series. At least one more. 116-46. Again, we're going to rip it off quick. We're just going to say 6 points right off the start. I mean, that's good. I mean, yeah, Red Sox won 101 games, but 6 points right off the rip. Perfect. League leaders, Bobby Miller. It's been fantastic for us this entire rebuild. And then Dalton Rushing led the league in home runs. Juan Soto had triples, RBIs, Jordan Walker with average. So it looks like maybe Ohtani is falling off a little bit. Awards, we've got a Hank Aaron Award, a Rookie of the Year award for Israel Ramos, and Jordan Walker got the batting title. Eric James, the Pirates just keep getting these talents in. Juan Soto and Dalton Rushing were also in the MVP race. That was also knocking the Dodgers out of the MVP winners. That sucks. Andrew Vaughn won it for the Tigers. What do we got here? Antonio Jimenez for the Rays, along with Eric James, were the Cy Young winners. Walker and Joaquin Magana. Oh, he looks good. Man, the Angels might have a good team too, based on some of the names I'm seeing. Dylan Coleman, Ben Joyce are the relievers of the year. I tried to sign Ben Joyce. What did he sign? A 5-year deal? I offered him a 3-year deal. Same amount of money. He just wanted a longer deal. Understandable. And then Israel Ramos was Rookie of the Year, along with Frank Guillen. Okay, let's see what we've got. That is what I had, so that's good. What about the lineup really quickly? They look like they changed a couple guys. So got both my catchers, got my first baseman. Mason Hill, how did he do? Wasn't great. So I guess we can leave Pelletier in. And then they also took out, who else am I missing? I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing? It's not a second baseman. I mean, it's Mason Hill. Am I missing? Who am I missing? Am I blind? Oh, no, that's right. Because, no, I'm missing a pitcher. I'm actually missing a pitcher. Was it Freitas? No, he needs to be in the team. He was disgusting. I might take out Dustin May, which means, is Scott Lyon on the 40-man? He is. You're getting thrown in the deep end, bud. Sorry. And then we're going to take out, who was Miguel Vargas, dude? Come on. I picked up your option because I thought you were going to do well. He actually didn't do too bad. I'm hating on him for no reason. We're going to get rid of Sanchez. Jeez, 143 on the year, man. Come on. We're going to go Freitas here. We're going to Lyon as the long reliever, and then everything else is set. Perfect. Okay, stats-wise, I know that was a mess for a second, but let's take a peek here. I don't think anybody would have pitched. Oh, Montano, no. A potential down to B. That's tough. Dustin May wasn't as good, but he is a free agent after this year, so we'll do that. Lightning McQueen actually looks pretty legit. He might get some time next season. Sanchez pitched a little bit this year, really struggled once again. We've got Baker, who also looks very good, who could help us out next year. And then a couple other guys. I mean, some of these relievers look pretty solid. Same with the starters, so we might have plenty of cover next year. Shohei didn't pitch, not worried about that. Silva didn't pitch, but look at his per nines. I think he'll do just fine. Same. Sheehan should not be up. Is Sheehan up? He is. Okay, Sheehan should not be up. Do I go with Steven? Or do I go with somebody else that I had up? Which... Ooh, what do we do here? Montano struggled too. So I prefer him over Sheehan. No, we're gonna rock like that. We're gonna give Sheehan the chance. It's probably his last chance with the team. So we'll leave it as is. All right. So we've got Sheehan, we've got Lyon, who actually pitched a little bit this year, 17 innings, had a 4 ERA, but a .85 whip, which is awesome. Vesia is regressing. Good thing I only offered him a 1-year deal. So not a bad year though. Crochet was also very good, crazy good. Kimball came up, dominated. Love to see that. We've got Liberatore, who is fantastic. I signed him to a 2-year deal. He's not going anywhere. Freitas came up, long reliever, unbelievable. Love that. Hannah's still dealing. We've got Ramos, who's dealing. Pitching has just been nonstop, insane. Ozuna was good, and Bobby Miller was also very good. Oh, love it. Let's get to the offensive side of things. I think the players that I saw that were sent down were Sanchez. We saw he was hitting 100, not great. And I think that's it. So if we take a look at the team, Malenka, okay. Pelletier hit 381 over 21 at-bats, which, okay, all right. I see you. Extreme pull hitter. Okay. Colon as our backup catcher was actually pretty good. I like that. We've got Para, who on the bench got the job done. Farmer's still doing very well, getting more at-bats. That's what I want to see. About 3 times the at-bats, and still did very well. Teague is up to a 92 overall. He looks insane. Switch hitter, 300 average, almost a 400 on base percentage. Talk about a draft pick. We got Miguel Vargas, who just really never popped off. He gets on base. It's just like the average is low, which is super disappointing. But overall, honestly, not a terrible player. Jordan Walker's regressing a little bit, which is a bummer, but he had a great season, so I'm not upset by that. Gunnar Henderson held his rating, had a very good season. Dalton Rushing's up to a 99 with 40 home runs. Yeah. Key is up to an 88. He had another good season. And then Moya slowly regressing now, it looks like, and cooled off a little bit. Juan Soto was good. And then Shohei, 33 home runs, 38 doubles, and easily his worst season, but he has 600 home runs, and I have extended his contract, and I am going to keep him in the team. So he's not going anywhere. So now postseason time against the Rockies. Let's see what lineup's not correct. Oh, this one doesn't matter. We'll throw them there, and then we'll throw him in there. Okay. Can we beat the Rockies? Can we add on to our tally? We got swept. Okay, season 10 time after we take a look at the Rockies lineup. Ooh, okay, and then pitching. Whoa. Yeah, we got to up our game. Did we allow a lot of runs? 2-run game, 2-run game, 1-run game. That's tough. Yeah, we blew this game, and it looks like the bullpen blew this game too. So not ideal. Final season. Alrighty, final season. Here we go. What do we have? Pitching wise, as you can see, this is what we have. I think Ramos will go here, and then we'll go like that for the rotation. Basically, guys that we've either traded for or drafted, which is a majority of them. We've got Lyon here, and Ohtani's the DH. We'll keep him there. Liberatore, Kimball, Montano, Silva, and I signed Kiki Ruiz. He looks really good. He's been with Seattle for a while. So he looks good. He looks really solid. And then we brought back Crochet. And lineup wise, I picked up 2 new players. I ended up trying to re-sign Miguel Vargas. This was actually a really bad free agency window. And then he signed with the Marlins on a big deal. So I was like, you know what? That's fine. Instead, I'll go after Ken Diaz, who can play a bunch of different positions. Really good fielder. Has been with the Marlins. So they let him go and picked up Vargas. So there we go. Looks decent. On base percentage is a little bit low. Same thing with the OPS, but he only wanted a 1-year deal. I'll take my chances. And then to face lefties, I brought in James Wood. I figured it was our last year. Let's go all out. And he's been okay as well. But I figured let's get the platoon going. We've got some good bench bats. This is a good team. I really like this team a lot. I think this is the year we get that World Series. I mean, look at us. Defense, speed, power, everything. First or second. Come on. All right, so season's over. We finished 113-49. Again, just 6 points right off the rip. Last season, we totaled up to 103. I forgot to mention that. 103 total points. League leaders. Ozuna was really good percentage-wise. Crochet the most saves. Miller with the most complete games, innings, and whip. Offensively, Juan Soto balled. All right, there we go. Awards. Delivery Man of the Year and a Cy Young Award. Okay, this guy, oh, he went to the Pirates. Well, he stayed with the Pirates. So he was available in free agency. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I get him. And I didn't. And he went back to the Pirates. So the Pirates are going to be still good. Still good. Torkelson. Okay. How old is Tatis now? 33? Okay. Okay. We have the Cy Young Award. And then Rich Trainer on the other side won it. He was with the Angels. That's right. That's right. PCA and Colt Keith are the batting title winners. Crochet won Reliever of the Year along with Willard Farrell. Gaylord Miniac and Chris Cutliff are your Rookies of the Year. Okay, final player stat line. Let's take a look at the pitchers. And for some reason, Scott Lyon got some ABs. So let me show you. He had 100 at-bats and had 13 hits. The CPU took out Ohtani, and that's why Scott Lyon got some ABs. But Ohtani also pitched a few. He was actually pretty good when given the opportunity. So there's that. Looks like the CPU arranged a few things. Doug Caruth came up for Freitas, I believe it was, who was not great. I think it was him. It was him. He had a 5 ERA this year, so didn't pan out this season, unfortunately. So Caruth came up. Was okay. Was okay. Silva as a reliever was pretty good. We have Kiki Ruiz, who was also very good. Love to see that in the setup role. Montano came up and finally put something together. Like to see that. Crochet was also very good in the closer role. 58 saves. Liberatore has been fantastic for us. He's been lights out. Unbelievable pickup. Kimball, also very good. We've got Scott Lyon, who was our long reliever. Sub 3 ERA. Unbelievable. Lewis Hanna, who's starting to regress a little bit, but he's been outstanding for us. Also had a 3.3 ERA, 1 whip. And then Ramos. Look at the numbers Ramos are putting up. Love it. Ozuna, also very solid. And then we're going to finish it off with the guy who's probably the unsung hero of this rebuild, Bobby Miller. If we take a look at position players, let's just go by ABs. Pelletier got called up over... Where is he? He got called up over... Actually, no. I don't even see him now. I don't think it really matters because he wasn't good. So whoever it was, he wasn't good. Malenka? No. De Jesus is up to 84. I remember we got him, but I don't remember who it was. Oh, no, it's the middle infielder, Mason Hill. There he is. He was up for 52 at-bats. He wasn't bad, but yeah, we're just going to call him up. Cologne, backup catcher, similar amount of at-bats as last year, wasn't as good. James Wood only faced lefties this year and was okay. Nothing special. Parra was better off the bench, which is kind of crazy. Michael Farmer, little bit of a regression season this year. Ken Diaz was fantastic. What a pickup for us on a 1-year deal. I'll take that for sure. Ohtani, 36 home runs, 36 doubles in your final season at 38 years old. Pretty impressive. For a 10-year rebuild, he's finishing with 645 home runs. Obviously not all with us, but I mean, what was his lowest total? 33 with us? That's kind of crazy. 33 was the lowest he had, so he's going to finish with 648. Jordan Walker had a good season also. I think he's a free agent after this year. He is. Gunnar Henderson, a little bit of a down year. He's a free agent in a couple seasons. We've got Moya, who I think we've seen the best of him, but honestly, he's just been an on-base machine, and I'm okay with that. Teague, though. Teague, low-key, kind of nice. I'm impressed by this pick. This pick was really good. Dalton, we've seen him. Not too bad. Pretty good season. Key, again, just super consistent. Solid player. Soto, 36 home runs, 48 doubles, and a 906 OPS. And back to the bottom. So, lineups have been all adjusted. Pitching rotation is going to look like this. 2 long relievers, and then Ohtani, for some reason, is just going to chill here. And then we're going to rock like this for the bullpen. Lineup, it should just be Ohtani and Ohtani. We're good to go. Let's do it. Postseason time against the Padres, and we are through to the next round, taking on the Reds now. It is going to be Miller, Lewis, Ramos. Perfect. All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 2-1. All right. There we go. One more. Perfect. We're in the World Series taking on the Royals. Let's go take a look at their team for the final World Series matchup. Witt, Avi Romano, MJ Melendez, Patrick Mullen. Okay. Interesting team. Pitching wise, we got to beat them. We got to beat them. We got to beat them. There's just no reason that we shouldn't beat them. We have to beat them. This team is not as good. So we're going to go. Did Bobby Miller just pitch? I think he did, right? Oh, it's been a whole week. It's fine. He's fine. So we're going to go Miller. Let's see here. I think like that. So Miller, Ramos. Yep. World Series time. Let's do it. Let's finish it off. Good. 2 wins, a loss, a win. Bobby Miller, can he close it out? Of course he does. Of course he does. And there it is. A World Series win to close it out. What a way to end it. What a way to end it. And then Christopher Moya is the playoff MVP. There we go. Juan Soto on the squad. Shohei Ohtani, Dodgers rebuild. Crazy contract. Again, in the comment section, let me know your thoughts. But what a way to end it. Him winning the World Series MVP. And of course, 15 points. It brings our total to 118 points. And when you compare that to what the Yankees did, Dodgers are number 1. And honestly, I don't even know if we're going to break that. 118 points is pretty insane. I think that's 6 World Series that we had throughout the entire rebuild, which is unbelievable. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the content. And in the comment section, let me know your thoughts on that Ohtani contract. And if you're looking for some more content, check out this Juan Soto Yankees rebuild. I definitely think you'll enjoy it. Catch you in the next one. Peace.